In our last session, we read the following letter.
Dear Greg, about once a week I have to work with the head of another department in our business. I have to go up to her floor, and I'm not there very long, but she is rude and short with me almost every time. She's not very nice to the people she supervises either, but I have noticed that she can be pretty nice to certain people. I'm just not one of them. What's the best way to tell her that she's rude and that I don't like the way she treats me?
In the last 4 sessions, I said that this department head, Gladys, treats you badly because it gives her a sense of power that she's familiar with. She likes other people more than you because they give her more imitation love in ways she's accustomed to, or they simply intimidate her more. You could certainly try to do the same as those other people, but then you'd be as miserable as she is, trying to find happiness in imitation love and in getting and protecting behaviors. Impossible. Or you could try to get her to see her behavior and hope that she'll change it. Again, very unlikely. So, what is reasonable for you to do? Remember that real love is always the best solution. It is not guaranteed to change other people, but it is guaranteed to change you and bring you happiness as you work to find it and share it with others. So the first step is for you to find more real love for yourself. And that means telling the truth about yourself to create the opportunities for other people to see, accept, and love you. Tell the truth about what? Not about Gladys, but about you. Talk about how you become empty and afraid when you talk to this woman. Talk about how you are not unconditionally loving toward her. Talk about how you have unreasonable expectations that she respect you and treat you more nicely, which is a way of saying that you expect her to love you. You don't have a right to have that expectation. And when she treats you badly, you become irritated at her. And whether you realize it or not, you do communicate that irritation to Gladys, and she feels it. So it boils down to this. Gladys isn't loving toward you, and you respond by being unloving toward her. Sure, Gladys may start it, and she's wrong, but you're wrong too. We're always wrong when we're not loving, no matter what other people do. And you won't feel loved until you feel accepted while you talk about your flaws. Talk about your anger. Talk about how you feel like a victim in this situation. Talk with people until you find wise men and women who are capable of loving you as you are. Angry, victim-y, selfish, unloving, and all. Then, as you feel increasingly loved, you will benefit enormously from sharing that with Gladys. Loving people who love you in return is easy. You don't learn anything from that. We learn the most from loving people like Gladys. So what would loving Gladys look like? When I say love her, I don't mean you should walk into the office next time, give her a hug, kiss her on the cheek, and tell her you love her. That's just not realistic. But there are so many other ways that we can express our love to people. When you see her, smile at her. Don't avoid eye contact with her. If I genuinely love you and you walk into the room, I will light up. Without my speaking a word, you'll see it in my face, and you'll tend to respond to the love that I'm communicating to you. Right now, Gladys does not see that love in your face. She sees fear and a feeling of victimhood, and she's responding to that. Talk to her. Ask her about her family. Ask her how she's feeling. Talk to her like a friend, which right now you do not do. When you talk, look directly into her eyes. When we're mad at people, we tend not to do that. We look down or away, and people sense our avoidance as a lack of affection, which it is. These are just a few ways that you can show your love for her. Experiment. Observe yourself honestly and talk about your progress with some loving friends. Gladys may not respond immediately to your attempts at loving, but you will feel less afraid. You'll be happier. Why? Because it's always about real love. We are always happier when we're finding real love and sharing it with the people around us. I promise you that you will discover the truth of this as you change the way you see Gladys and the way you behave toward her. It's always about real love.